Hello, Mark Crossfield here, more Steve Buzza magic. Thanks for joining us, Steve. Looking at swings from the app. We've got a little bit of a, what people call early extension issue going on with this swing, which we're going to talk about. Let's see if we can give this guy some help. Let's get stuck in. Right, Steve, swing. Definitely very rounded in his shoulders.
Yes.
I'm not sure if I would change that with this kind of player. I mean, the reason I say that is that I don't know the guy personally. I would imagine, and this is just a guess, so if he plays every day, this doesn't apply to him so much. He's a kind of once a week, every 2 weeks kind of golfer and just wants to play a bit better. So to improve his posture, so as in pull his shoulder blades back, he'd do it in a lesson, but he'd instantly go back, I often find. But also, I think it's a little bit of his shape. I think he's naturally that way a little bit, and the amount of work he would have to do, which then wouldn't really influence that much of his club delivery, you'd kind of think, why do that much to not actually influence the ball that much for me?
Well, it's one of those, like,
if he came saying he wants to play British Open, I'd probably say, well, we might have to go at your old scapular engagement kind of thing.
It's one of those, like when I TPI screen people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all well and good me screening them, but if they're not going to put the work in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes it's not even me saying that they're lazy or not. It's just, it's not possible. I mean,
yeah, they've got a life.
Your lifetime doesn't allow you to do it.
I totally agree.
It's just understanding, well, if I'm seeing an issue,
yeah,
it's there for that reason.
Yeah,
Let's just work around it.
I totally agree, which we'll do with this guy.
Sometimes we pretend, don't we? So we pretend as a coach saying, oh, you need to hit this position.
Yeah.
They go away working on the position. In reality, they can't do it physically.
Yeah, I totally agree. So I mean, the posture definitely isn't the prettiest posture as you would see, but I wouldn't touch it as the main thing. I might come back to it if he fixed everything else really easily. We definitely see not a bad backswing, he gets a little bit across, but then we see quite a big movement this way with his hips, club drops back behind him, ball starts off to the right, so the face is obviously pointing to the right. He looks like he's swinging to the right. Yeah. Let's pretend that he starts it to the right and it comes back. Okay, so let's pretend for this video that he does that. I would ask him where he's aiming and look at where he's aiming on the thing, and he would probably say at the target, of course. Aiming at the target.
Of course.
Well, hang on. Let's pretend your ball always has a 10-degree spin axis to the left, which means your ball's going to draw to the left. It's going to move, say, 5 or 6, 7 yards in the air to the left. Why would you ever aim straight if your ball is going to turn 7 yards left? It's such a common mistake with amateur golfers. So for this guy, definitely there's issues with what he's doing here with his hips. I mean, maybe a few ideas of just kind of turning through and trying to keep what to you feels like your chest is over the ball a bit more, yeah, rather than here dropping down so much and then having to recover with clubs and what have you. That would be a good idea, just to open up a bit more. But the other thing, if he is slinging that back, and I've done it with lots of students recently and it really works, well, why would you not play within that? Do you see what I mean? So for them, often you ask where they're aiming it, they'd say at the target. What's your desired shot? Well, I like to hit a little bit of a draw.
Yeah.
Can't aim at the target if you hit a draw, because if it starts at the target, it's missing left.
Yeah, and it's sometimes it's understanding it's the consistency
of that.
So
I totally agree.
Sometimes it's not, well, I'm got too much curvature.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's always too much curvature.
Yeah,
it's always the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually matter, and you're not at any disadvantage to somebody that's got very neutral ball flight.
Totally, as long as the ball is consistent with its flight.
Sometimes we try and make the changes, and all that happens is they hit the big one, and then one stays straight.
Yeah, and they're actually worse off almost then, rather than getting all their shape. So for me, it's an interesting swing. Posture, definitely, you could engage your shoulders a bit if you find it easy, but I wouldn't lose too much sleep over that. You definitely are quite keen to move this way. I've had, with my students, not massive success of getting them out of that movement, so I tend to move around it, like you said at the start, because of their life commitments. If they're going to come to me or come to a training session 3 times a week and work in between and off course, work on posture and things, then yeah, you could change that and you might be better. But for a recreational golfer, which I would guess this guy is, just get out there and maybe learn the shape shot you're hitting from the movement you're making and make sure you aim right to allow for it to come back. If it's not coming back, certainly that little bit more of that hip shoulder turn might enable that face to square up a bit more through impact. You might be able to get that little bit more torque on the club to spin it round to a bit more neutral position. It might bring the club a little bit more out to come through a bit straighter by doing that. Definitely something to try, but certainly let's pretend this guy has a 15 yards draw, aim right and draw it back all day long. We played with Gorilla in Portugal recently. First couple of days he's hitting a 50-yard hook, right? He's just hook. He hasn't played because he's doing a long drive and stuff. And like day 2, I James, can you aim right? Why are you aiming at the target? Every shot you hit is drawing 40 yards left. And then the last few days, he pieced some rounds together because he had the confidence to aim down the right. And sometimes it just needs someone stood behind to say something that sounds so obvious when you're stood there. When you're the golfer, you're always like, there's a target, must aim at it, kind of thing. So an interesting one there, guys. Let me know what you think. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you.
But if you think about most of the guys on the PGA Tour and the Women's Tour, if they are shaping the ball, fading or drawing, they're not aiming at the target. And their face is not at target when they hit the ball. It is either open or closed, subject to what shape they want to hit. So if you want to hit target with a shape, you've got to allow for it, you've got to aim for it. Thanks for watching. Post comments down below. Love to hear what you've got to say on this one, because I definitely know lots of you will think, oh, I've got to aim at the target. So many people say you just got to aim at the target. It'd be interesting to see if that different take on it makes sense or not. Speak to you all soon. So if you like what's going on here, don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Also thumbs up the video, post comments. Love to hear what you guys got to say. Let's keep it social. The more we talk, the more we share, the easier this game will get for everybody. So if you want to find me on Facebook here, you can find me on Facebook. If you want to tweet me, find me on Twitter here as well. Just follow the links, all in the description. Come and join the show. Get active, get involved, get playing some better golf. Thanks for watching.